Imagine waking up to a knock at 5 a.m., and by noon the entire world thinks you're a domestic terrorist who just attacked your own office building. Your car is on camera. Your keycard was scanned. Your personal items were found next to the evidence. Except, you never left your house. And the people who staged it, they're not random criminals. They're the most powerful men in the country, and they've been watching you since the day you were born. This is the exact story you're about to hear. Stay until the end, because the revenge isn't a fistfight. It's me pressing one button that destroys decades of their lies forever. If you've ever felt powerless, betrayed, or like invisible forces were controlling your life, this story is going to hit you right in the chest. Hit that like button if you're ready for justice, subscribe, turn on notifications, and comment expose them right now so I know you're locked in for this 30-minute ride. My name is Alyssa Rowan, 37 years old, financial analyst, lived alone in the quiet house my grandmother left me. I thought my life was boring, predictable, safe, until 5:02 a.m. on a cold Tuesday morning. The pounding on my front door was so violent I thought the wood would splinter. I stumbled out of bed, heart already jackhammering against my ribs. Through the peephole I saw my next-door neighbor, Gabriel Stone, quiet, keeps to himself Gabriel, standing there ghost-white, sweat beading on his forehead even though it was freezing outside. He didn't even let me say hello. "Don't go to work today," he rasped. "Stay inside. Lock the doors. Trust me." I laughed nervously. "Gabriel, what are you talking about?" His eyes darted down the street like he expected snipers on the rooftops. "You'll understand by noon," he whispered. Then he was gone, jogging back to his house without looking back. 1:55. I stood frozen in the doorway, cold air biting my skin, watching the first pink streak of sunrise crawl across the sky. Something in his voice, the way his hands shook. It wasn't crazy. It was terror. And I couldn't ignore it. Because 3 months earlier, my dad died. Officially, a stroke. But in the weeks before he passed, he kept grabbing my hand, eyes wild, saying, "Alyssa, there are things about our family you need to know. It's time." I kept brushing him off. I was busy. Work was crazy. I never got that conversation. And ever since his funeral, weird things started happening. Black SUVs parked across the street for hours. Silent phone calls. My sister Sophie calling from overseas. Lies. "Have you noticed anyone watching the house?" I told myself I was grieving, imagining things. But that morning, I listened to Gabriel. I texted my boss, "Family emergency, can't come in." Then I sat in my dark living room, waiting. Every creak of the house felt like footsteps. Every car that drove past made my stomach drop. My phone rang, unknown number. This is Officer Taylor, County Police. Are you aware of an active incident at Henning and Cole Investments this morning? My mouth went dry. What incident? There was a coordinated attack. Multiple casualties. We have security footage of your vehicle entering the garage at 8:02 a.m. Your keycard was used. Your co-workers saw you on the 3rd floor. I dropped the phone. I was sitting on my couch in pajamas. I hadn't left the house. I whispered, "That's impossible." The officer's voice turned ice cold. "We also recovered personal items belonging to you near the device. We're sending units to your residence now for your safety and questioning." I hung up and ran to every window. My curtains shook in my fists. Someone stole my car or cloned it. Cloned my keycard. Planted evidence. And they were coming to collect me. 3 sharp knocks at the door. "Alyssa, it's Gabriel. Open up. We have minutes." I pressed my back to the door. "How did you know the police would call?" His voice came through the wood, low and deadly calm. "Because they're not police. They're retrieval. You were never supposed to wake up in your bed today. You were supposed to be inside that building when it went up, or already in a black site. Either way, the world was going to remember you as the monster." My blood turned to ice. I cracked the door. Gabriel pushed inside, scanned the street, then locked it behind him. He looked me dead in the eyes. "I didn't move next door by accident, Alyssa. Your father asked me to protect you. I staggered backward. My dad was an accountant. Gabriel shook his head slowly. That was his cover. For 19 years he was running a covert federal investigation into you. He pulled out a small black envelope and handed it to me. My fingers shook so badly I could barely open it. Inside was my father's handwriting. Alyssa, if you're reading this, they've come for you. You are in danger because of who you are, not what you've done. There's more to your blood than you know. Trust Gabriel with your life. Do not let them take you alive. If they do, you'll vanish. Forever. I love you. Dad. Tears blurred the ink. Gabriel's voice was soft but brutal. You weren't born, Alyssa. You were designated. Subject 7B, Project Origin. Your DNA carries natural immunity and regenerative markers they've spent billions trying to synthesize. You're the only one who was born with it, not made. That makes you the most valuable and most dangerous human alive to them. My knees buckled. He caught me before I hit the floor. They killed your father with a designer neurotoxin when he tried to expose the program. They were coming for you on your 33rd birthday, but your routine blood work last month lit up their system like a Christmas tree. So they moved the timeline up. Today was supposed to be your last day of freedom. Sirens in the distance. Gabriel grabbed my arm. We have to move. Now. We sprinted to his SUV just as 3 unmarked black Suburbans turned onto my street. No lights, no sirens. Just blacked out windows and government plates. Tires screeched. We peeled out. In the rearview mirror I saw men in tactical gear spill out, weapons raised. One raised a radio and spoke calmly. Asset is mobile. Initiate containment. We hit the highway doing 110. Gabriel handed me a tablet. The file name, Rowan, Alyssa, subject 7B. Photos of me as a toddler in a medical facility I don't remember. Blood vials labeled with barcodes. Genetic sequencing charts highlighted in red. A note stamped classified. Subject exhibits 100% resistance to viral agents NV19, XR7, and chemically induced cellular apoptosis. Regenerative factor detected in plasma. Recommend immediate retrieval upon maturity. My hands went numb. I wasn't a daughter. I was an asset. Gabriel's voice cut through the ringing in my ears. Your father built a dead man's switch. A vault only your DNA can open. Inside are the names, the bank accounts, the orders, everything. If we get there, you can end this today. If they get there first, every trace of the program disappears, and you become the fall guy for a false flag attack that justifies martial law. We ditched the SUV in the woods and hiked to an overgrown bunker hidden under a hill. The steel door had the Rowan family crest carved into it. Gabriel looked at me. Once you walk in, there's no more normal life. I didn't even hesitate. I was never normal. I pressed my palm to the scanner. The door recognized my DNA instantly. A deep mechanical groan, and it opened like a tomb opening. Inside was freezing. The air smelled like old paper and ozone. In the center sat my father's leather journal. I opened it with shaking hands. His last letter to me broke me all over again. You were never their property. You are proof humanity can evolve past their control. You are the future they fear. Choose, Alyssa. Compliance, or revelation. At the back of the vault was a terminal with 2 glowing buttons. One labeled acquisition, surrender. One labeled revelation, expose everything. I didn't even think. I slammed the second button. Screens lit up. A countdown started, 00:09:59, 00:09:58. Every classified file, every name, every offshore account, every order signed in blood. Streaming live to every major news outlet, every whistleblower site, every server my father preceded years ago. Gabriel exhaled like he'd been holding his breath for decades. It's done. You just burned their empire to the ground. Alarms screamed. Red lights flashed. They'd found the bunker. Boots thundering down the corridor. Gabriel grabbed my hand. Time to go. We sprinted toward an emergency tunnel as the vault sealed behind us. Over the loudspeakers a panicked voice. Subject 7B has initiated revelation protocol. All units, lethal force authorize. We burst into the night. Helicopters thundered overhead, searchlights slicing through the trees. But I wasn't running anymore. I stepped into the light, hands raised, not in surrender, but in victory. Because the entire world was watching now. Live feeds were blowing up. #Rowan files trending worldwide. Politicians, CEOs, three-letter agencies named. Exposed. Finished. One of the black helicopters hovered lower. A bullhorn crackled. Alyssa Rowan, stand down. You are a threat to national security. I smiled up at the sky, tears freezing on my cheeks. No, I shouted back. I'm the end of yours. Climactic payoff slow-motion montage, use dramatic music swell. Cut to news anchors panicking on live TV. Breaking, decades-long biogenetic black project exposed by whistleblower Alyssa Rowan. Cut to senators resigning in handcuffs. Cut to secret facilities being raided at dawn. Cut to me, standing in the spotlight, finally free. Voiceover, me, calm and unbreakable. They wanted to own my blood. They killed my father for trying to stop them. They tried to write me into history as a monster. But I rewrote the ending. And every single one of them is going to prison for the rest of their lives. I didn't just survive that day. I took everything they stole from my father, his life, his truth, his fight. And I finished it. Sometimes the sweetest revenge isn't violence. It's sunlight. The kind that burns liars alive. If this story of turning betrayal into world-changing justice gave you chills, smash that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell. Drop expose them in the comments if you believe the truth always wins. And tell me, have you ever had to fight someone who tried to control your entire life? Drop your story below. I read every single one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.